Hi, Jamie. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Hold on, I needed help getting on here because I haven't done this in a while.
Okay, you got on.
Yeah, I'm on.
Okay, so we will need a bolster if you have it, and three blocks. If you have 3 blocks, if not, it's okay if you have just 2.
I have
and
2
the blanket.
Right, and
that's
then I
fine.
have my blanket.
Okay, perfect. That's it. All right, we shall start then.
Put myself on here. Hold on. I don't know how to shut myself. It's okay.
Oh, I can shut it at my end.
I don't know how to put my. That's okay. Okay.
What do you need? Can you see me?
I was trying. Well, I can see you, but I don't know if you can see me. But that's okay. I don't know how to do that.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. I don't have to see you unless you want me to. You can put your video on, basically. But if you're not on video, that's okay too. All right. So. Alrighty. So today we will need, like I said, 3 blocks, a bolster, and a blanket. If you have an IPLO nearby, we don't have any in the studio, but if you have one, that's nice, but you don't have to have that. So we'll do a practice to soothe the adrenal glands, to increase their energy and to release the tension, the stress level in our life, and to increase the energy flow through the kidney meridian and adrenals, so you can give us a lot more vitality and energy and get us back to what we need to be by resetting ourselves in this 1-hour practice with very few poses. Basically, there are 4 major poses, and we'll repeat one at the end. So there's just 5 little things we'll do. All right, first one is legs up the wall. So we will scooch next to the wall. And then we're gonna drop into the left elbow and swing the legs up. So here you adjust yourself. You wanna scooch into the wall as close as you'd like. Listen to your hamstrings and see how much they wanna extend or not. And let the legs be relaxed, being supported by the wall. And your hands and arms, rest them out by the side comfortably. And notice here the grounding support beneath you that supports your whole torso from the tailbone to the head. And also allow the wall to be your support. It's supporting the lower body. Connect with the breath here. And take this time to collect all your energies into the present moment. Wiggle and stretch your toes. Make sure they're released and relaxed. Maybe you move your ankles gently side to side to let them find a perfect place to rest in the center. And start to take notice of your breath rhythm, of your activity in your head or brain or mind. observing the thoughts that come through, noticing them for a brief, short second and letting them go. Imagine them as fluffy clouds that will float by. The first level of relaxation of this restorative yin practice is to come out from the world experience into yourself, just narrowing in into this room, into this studio, into this practice, into your mat and your whole body. Letting go everything else outside of your mat. And since I am here and I did not remember to say at the beginning, I will make an announcement now as you guys rest here. Next Thursday, after my yin yoga, so we finish the yin yoga at 5, I have a 6 o'clock event of yoga nidra and poetry. So we get to play with words and create a poem. And then we get this restful conscious sleep where we get to rest our nervous system deeply. So if you haven't had yoga nidra before, I have a video of it on the studio's website under past recordings. And that one, I think it's a half an hour practice. Here we'll probably do a longer one next week. So please join if you can. I'd love to have you. And then the other thing coming up that's really exciting for Missouri and this area, we have a Bliss Yoga event, Yoga Festival, 4 days in Augusta, Missouri. And I will be part of that along with Tori from the studio. And another friend of mine that teaches Kundalini Yoga. And 13 other teachers and leaders in that event. So it's really not far. Augusta, it's on the hills where we have the wineries and Klondike Park and Katy Trail. So it's right there in that area. It's a beautiful thing to check out. If I remember, I will give you flyers at the end because I have them. All right, back to our breath. And here, start to notice how the energies, the heaviness, the heavy energies come down from the feet into the legs, into the hips, and then drain into Mother Earth. Allow this drainage, this circulation to go in this direction with releasing any tension, any stress, any heaviness from your legs. And also we get this energy from the head dropping into the tailbone, and it meets right there, maybe at the kidney level with the energy from the legs. So we do work on the kidneys indirectly here, letting the adrenals soak in the energy from above and below. We are so much into the world and we are always active and doing and achieving and striving and competing. We waste a lot of energy because we believe that we get rewarded or we get seen and acknowledged or validated only by our doing, but what we produce. And that is what the world has taught us in the capitalistic model. But that is not really true. It is true that we are human beings and that we need to value rest, reset, digest, and sleep as much as we do the activities in our life. So if we don't get to recover, the body suffers and struggles and disease settles in. If we find a balance in our life, then we may still do the things we want to do, but we set limits and boundaries. And we also allow and set time aside for these kind of practices where we get to recharge, reconnect, recollect, and simply be and enjoy our human beingness rather than the doingness of us. Because too much of doing and not replenishing the energies is going to deplete the whole system. We need to be careful and find balance. And the yoga practice is very good at teaching this. And we can see actually the benefits. We can feel how we actually benefit from these practices. And then the body will want more, and we have to listen and provide that to our body so we can live in harmony with our bodies. So that was about 10 minutes here. It went by fast, I think. I could stay here another 10. But we're going to slowly transition to our side. So bend the knees. And without losing this beautiful energy, we're going to move really slow so we don't waste much energy. So come to your side and lift up slowly. And we will do a major setup for the next pose. We're gonna get 2 blocks by where our shoulders would be. And then the other block under the bolster about the knee level. So the block is kind of in the middle of the bolster. And the bottom of the bolster, we're gonna situate it about where our knees would be, and us laying flat on the belly with the shoulders supported by the blocks. So yeah, you will look just like that. So now if we had an eye pillow, we would put it right here for the forehead, but we don't have that. And if it's your own mat, you should be okay with that. But if you need a towel or a tissue, if you're borrowing the mat, you can get paper towel from here to put under your forehead, on your face. It's really the forehead that's gonna touch. So there you go. Do you need one, Charles? There you go. Jane, would you like one small one too? Okay, awesome. So now make sure this is long enough so your knees will come right in front of here, and then legs are gonna crawl up onto the bolster. Legs are gonna be, your knees are right in front of it though. Together, knees together. It's not, we're not hiking on it. Yeah, like that. And the legs go up on it. And now settle your shoulders forward because we may need to get a bolster back more depending how tall you are. So your shoulders are gonna go down on the block. Okay, so let me do it here so you guys can see. So my knees are right there next to the bolster. I'm gonna drop the shoulders down and maybe I'll need to adjust. Maybe I'll press the bolster flat. Okay. So my knees are on the floor and the lower legs on the bolster. Shoulders have support from the blocks and the forehead drops down on the floor or on your eye pillow. So it's a very restful pose. The shoulders get to stay uplifted, but they are supported. And the energy drops down from the knees to the low back, squeezing the kidneys and adrenals. And we're going to spend here 10 minutes as well. So take your time and breathe. And Jamie, if you don't have another block to put under the bolster, put something like a meditation cushion or any chair cushion that you may have that can lift up, or even a couple of heavy books to lift up your bolster more. Make sense? Yeah. Okay.
Perfect.
So you want the bolster elevated at your toes, right back behind you. Okay. This is again for our kidneys, adrenals especially, that they have to produce a lot of cortisol to keep our stress levels balanced. And you can have your arms resting by your side so you feel them slightly open out to your hip level. And take some nice breaths here. If you have long legs, you may feel like you need more lift. Anybody feels like they need another block to lift the legs higher, or is that okay? I can get you guys another block if you think you want it. Charles, you're okay? Or do you want another block on the way? Yeah, let's try another because it's kind of forcing you. Yeah, try that. Yeah, try that now. Put it down now. Is that better? Nice. Jane, how about you? Let's try and see how you feel here. Okay, try that now. Better? Nice. Okay. And take your time here, just observing how the energy is shifting. And it all drops down into the adrenals, kind of draining into your center. As you sit here, you close your eyes and focus deep within. The breath should be calm and peaceful already. Just drop into your body. Just checking in. See what your intuition takes you. Check in with the internal organs in the front of the body that have contact with the earth. As you breathe in, you feel that gentle massage of the belly against the ground. And as you breathe out, you feel like you can release any stagnation, any energy that doesn't serve you into the earth. And again, as you breathe in, draw in through that navel point energy from the earth. Just like a magnet, we're pulling in this lower pole of the body along the navel, drawing in, connecting with Mother Earth, Just like you would have an umbilical cord that extends deep into the earth. Getting that grounding, that supportive energy, that connection, that steadiness that Mother Earth can teach us. Just be open to the experience of this moment. And be curious and see what you find. You know that you are enough as you are. You don't have to do anything to be enough. You just need to be yourself to be enough. We are not allowing our doing or everybody else's conception of us to label us or to create what we are, because we already know what we are. We are energy, we are vibration, we are beings, and we are divine. And we are enough in our own right. Nothing to be added, nothing to be subtracted. Just finding that inner being that is complete, perfect, and enough. Now we stored some energy in the kidneys here in the adrenals. And without losing any of that energy, we're going to start to be aware of the body and start to move out of the pose. Maybe get your feet to the side and press into the hands. And stretch back like you're doing in the child's pose. And we will do some more adjustment on this bolster. We're going to put 2 blocks underneath it at the same level. We're going to be doing the child's pose on this bolster. So our hips are at the end of the bolster. Gonna lean forward. And maybe our chin is at the edge of the bolster, depending on your torso height. And let the arms fall down from the shoulders, opening up that area between the shoulder blades. Knees come out to the side comfortably. And here you can turn your head to the right for the first 5 minutes. And then we'll turn to the left for the last 5. Now we are opening that area that we were squeezing before, allowing the kidneys and adrenal to breathe and expand, energize. And take in energy as you breathe. Imagine you breathe directly into your low back. Right into your kidneys. Both kidneys, if you have one, you breathe into that one. Imagine those adrenal glands laying on top of the kidneys. Breathe gently and smoothly. Lengthen the exhale. Relax through each breath. Through each exhale, you relax a little bit deeper. With the inhalation, feel your kidneys and adrenals energized and uplifted, gathering more energy into the adrenals. So we can be able to balance the cortisol levels in the bloodstream. Under big amounts of stress and anxiety and overdoing, overworking, chronic fatigue settles in. And that is a side effect of the adrenals not being able to stay balanced and to keep up. So it releases a lot of cortisol in the bloodstream, and that increases our stress, and then it becomes a feedback mechanism. It feeds into its own and continues on until we break that cycle by resting deeply, by breathing deeply, contemplating nature, meditation, in yoga, restorative yoga. So we come to those practices to get help, to get replenished. And notice how all the internal organs in the front body get a nice massage as you inhale and exhale. As you press the abdomen against the bolster, we get a gentle massage. The liver, the pancreas, stomach, all the intestinal tract gets to benefit and enjoy this practice. This is a great pose to do before you go to sleep. Also, legs up the wall is great before sleep because it drops the energy down in the body, gets things to become heavy and ready for sleep. Forgot to tell you to turn your head. I'm sorry. You haven't yet. Enjoy the extra circulation and blood flow in the brain and in the body. All right, inhale, bring it back to center and walk off the bolster and stretch back. Very slowly, very gently. We'll create the pose of your support for the next pose. I'm going to bring the blocks next to each other now, right in the middle of your mat, and the bolster on top. Now we're going to sit on the bolster to create a half bridge. So lay your low back on the bolster. Head is going to drop to the floor. And if it's too high for you, you can go without the blocks as well. So you're creating a supported bridge pose here. Feet are on the ground, hips are lifted high, and head drops down on the floor. Like I said, you decide if you need the blocks or not. So here we can choose to bring the arms overhead, cradling our head like a frame. Chin is gonna naturally drop towards the chest, lengthening the back of the neck. And find those legs, those feet grounding into the earth. And opening the front body to the sky. The second level of relaxation in restorative yoga, after we do a couple of poses or so, we get embedded a little deeper in the experience. We get to feel, to understand, to become one with the pose we create, to really be it. Breathe smoothly and acknowledge the areas of more intensity. Maybe the low back, maybe the hip flexors. Pay attention to those areas. You're trying to claim more space. You want to lengthen, to expand, to stretch, to enjoy themselves more. So allow your hips to breathe. And just go deep inside of yourself like you would be that hip joint itself. And feel how it is to be your hips.
What messages are you hearing? Can you understand? Can you try to understand? When we stay in connection with our body, we can prevent disease, malfunctions, malaise, pain, discomfort. But we have to really stay tuned in and do what we need to do to keep things in balance, afloat. But we don't have the patience to do that sometimes, because we always validate ourselves by doing more and achieving more to no avail, because there's no end to that. As you do more, you think you can do even more, and other people get the idea, they think you can do even more, and it never ends. So we need to set the boundaries at some point. And it's not only the workplace, sometimes it's our families even. They get this idea or this pattern of having all the needs met by one person, and that is not great for us, for our own health and benefit. So we need to share the duties, try to help each other, but also understand each other in our own energies. We might like to act like superhuman sometimes, but we're really not. At the end of the day, we are just human, and we need to listen to the human body in order to be well. And here we get to also breathe fully into our chest, into our lungs, into our heart. Heart is open, chest it's free and vulnerable at the same time. Don't be shy to breathe deep into your heart. Your heart is not a shy area. It's an area we want to bring out to the world. That love and compassion we hold in our hearts, that's so much needed out there. But first, we need to develop this internal love for our own selves. This love, this compassion, understanding. And really, the most valuable part of love is the acceptance. We need to accept ourselves where we are in each and every moment, because that's where you're meant to be. It doesn't make it any better if we think, oh, we should do this way, or I should have done it this way. That only brings regret and remorse and guilt. We accept and breathe and forgive and forget. We don't want to accumulate more clutter, more junk in the body. We try to release with the breath coming in, getting out. Just allow the breath to be this natural release of everything that comes your way. Our heart is a proud and strong center. It has been through a lot and can go through a lot more. It always can recover. It has an energy and a magnetism of its own. Different than the brain and the body. The heart has its own cells that are similar to the brain cells. They are not neurons, but they are called neurites. So that's why some people say, I think my heart says this, because actually we can think with our hearts. It was even said in the old scriptures, as one thinketh in his heart, so he is. So basically the heart is the main important center in the human body. But in the fast society we live in these days, we count so much more on the head, and everything lives in the level of the head. And then it's overwhelmed up here, and we disconnect from the other parts of the body, and we live our life in our head. And then life is not good at that point. It's mostly suffering and pain and struggling and competing and judging and blaming and worrying and creating war instead of peace. The heart would never create war. So as a human species, of one by one, we start to live more in the heart, we will see a change in the world. But the job is an individual one. All right, let's move on to the side gently. Just maybe if you have the blocks, get them out first. We'll see which way will be easier to transition, because it's going to be a harder transition. So take your time, come to the side maybe a little bit. Just slowly get up, because we have to finish with the legs up the wall again to close the circle, the cycle. So we're going to be back against the wall with the legs up. So go ahead and move slowly to that position. It's going to be a little slower because we had opened up our front. So now our back needs to open back again. This time, maybe you don't go as close to the wall at first, or maybe you keep your knees bent to begin with. Don't transition too harshly, just take your time. We have plenty of time. Your brain might not think so, but let's think with our hearts. Just feel how it is to move slow, just like your body needs right now. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Bend the knees and let your feet separate a little bit, just let them hang slightly. And bring the soles of the feet together. And then drop them down slightly. Create a bound angle pose with your legs. And you can bring your arms across your chest and cross them. And hug your body. Just reach across your shoulders. And breathe here. Give yourself some love, a hug from you to you. Breathe into this hug. Feel how important it is to feel this connection with yourself, to love yourself, to give back to yourself. We give so much to everything out there. Family, friends, work. It's time to give to us. If we don't replenish ourselves, we have nothing to give. Now here, if you have your eye pillow, you can rest that on your eyes. Now go ahead and bring the knees together. Extend the arms out in a T. And gently drop your knees to the left. Just see how far they want to go. And palms are down towards the ground and head turns to the right. Breathe here on this right side of the body. From the armpit to the hip crest and then down the leg. From the axilla to the fingertips. Allow your kidneys to enjoy this twist. Your rib cage to release some stagnant energy. Your lungs on the right side to breathe fully in the 3 big lobes of the right lung. Breathe out and release. If you feel that is right for you, you can extend the right leg, stretch it long, but you don't have to. Deepen the breath and store it in the side body. Have a pause and notice what is the area that holds the most resistance, and send your breath energy and your loving kindness and compassion from the heart to allow this area to prosper, to breathe fully rather than survival mode. Switch it up. This allows the parasympathetic response to settle in, so we get this energy in the body of rest and digest rather than fight, flight, or freeze. When we are stressed, tensed, or anxious, that's how we get. We either fight, we flee, or we freeze. All right, inhale gently, bring it back to center. Stop in the center for a couple of breaths. Knees to the chest, maybe rock gently on that tailbone. Lumbar spine. And gently drop the knees to the right, very softly. And start to turn the head to the left and arms extend at shoulder height. Notice what area restricts you and focus on that area. Your mind, intention, your breath, energy, and your loving kindness can change it all. Breathe into this two lobes of the lung on the left side and your big heart. And as you breathe in more into the heart center, the heart expands. Imagine you breathe in white shimmering light, very vibrant, very energized, clean and pure, like melting silver. And fill up your heart with this light, pure energy. And if you wish and feel like it, extend that left leg long. This will stretch a little bit further up your back. The lats get a stretch, the back of the thigh, the glutes. Enjoy this beautiful stretch and breathe. But keep it gentle and kind. Applying this main principle of yoga, ahimsa, non-violence. Metta, loving kindness. Notice how it is when you breathe in, the body is open and receives the breath. There's no struggle in receiving or giving. We are tense and tight and stressed. It feels hard to even breathe. That's because of the tension, the contraction created around the rib cage, and the lungs contract, the alveolar sacs can't expand fully because contraction causes resistance. So now it's our chance to expand, open, and relax. Enjoy the freedom and the space you create. Focusing on the heart and the side body. This yoga practice can heal yourself in any aspect of your being. Allow it to be your ointment for your heart, your energy for your life, your intuition and inspiration for your mind. All right, slowly and gently come on back to center. You can either stay with the legs up or come to a Shavasana, your choice. I feel like for me, it's nice to do a Shavasana at the end. You can put your bolster under your knees if you'd like. Legs up the wall, it's always good, even for a half an hour. It's nothing wrong with that. If you put your bolster on your knees, you still have some elevation, and you can even put your 2 blocks under your feet. So you have a slight elevation. Rest your hands on the belly and below the rib cage. Connect with the prana inside of your body. That internal prana, that chi we store here in the lower dantian or the Manipura chakra around the navel. And allow your right hand to rest the middle of the chest towards your heart. And the left hand can create a circle on the belly, like a clockwise moving circle, to store this chi we created. Just do a few spiraling circles, gathering the energy and storing it deep inside. And then just rest your hand on the belly. Breathe. Very slow, deep breathing. Actually, the breathing doesn't even have to be deep right now. It can be very subtle, barely noticeable. Because at rest, we don't need a lot of energy. And let the breath do the breathing for you. No effort, no thinking, no guiding. Just let the breath do its job. Your job is to observe, to be, to allow, to receive. Nourish your soul, nurture your heart, soothe your emotions. We can do this for ourselves. We can't expect others to do it. We are responsible for our own. And hopefully they can be responsible for theirs. And the whole world becomes balanced and free of clutter, free of trauma. We can live peacefully forever and ever. Free of drama too, because don't we like drama sometimes? And allow the observer to be present here. It's like that higher self looking upon you, the observer, noticing you being relaxed and peaceful and collected. We are not just this body or this mind that thinks crazy things most of the time. We are this awareness. We are that true being that we cannot see, but it is the essence of us. So who are you when you are not in your mind? Who are you when you are this awareness? Notice how infinite and sublime this awareness is, how expansive and how freeing it is. Couple more minutes here, just really feeling this body, this mind, this soul and spirit fully connected and becoming one. Come back to oneness, come back to the spirit, come back to yourself. And this is actually the title of the book I am writing, still editing. It's called Reclaiming Your Angelic Self. So I'm looking forward to have that completed to share it with you guys and with the world, whoever is ready to read it. Let's start to reawaken the body, stretch the arms, bring some energy, open the eyes, look around, see a different world full of flowers. Oh yeah, somebody brought me flowers today again. I always love to receive flowers. Jane always spoils me with her flowers from her garden. And now today a different person brought me flowers. I'm very grateful. Thank you for sharing your time with me today. I hope you had a beautiful practice and some insights, and you got to replenish your adrenals and benefit from that. And please join me on next Thursday, if you can, for 6 o'clock on Yoga Nidra and poetry. You get to be a poet, and I'll tell you exactly what to do. You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to be a poet to join. And I do want to share with you the Bliss Festival pamphlet. It's on a postcard and it looks beautiful. You can check out on the website. Yeah, there's many beautiful classes, including cacao ceremony. If you've never done one, it's one to try. And it's not far. It's 30 minutes from Chesterfield. It's a beautiful place to be. So, Jamie, how did you do? You're still awake, or did I put you to sleep?
Yes, it was wonderful. So glad to be back, and I'll see you. I'll see you Sunday. I'll be at your Sunday class.
Great. I'll catch up on Sunday. I'm glad you're back, and hopefully your parents are okay.
Yes, you're hanging in. Bye-bye. Thank you.